of the season, and you're watching the opening moments of Omloop Nieuwsbland as we look forward to 207 kilometres of really tough and hard racing. It's an important race for many. It's the first race of the season for a few. It's the first road race, would you believe, for no less than Mathieu van der Poel finally making his debut in Omloop. Wants to add this one to his palmarès. He's up against three former champions and the very best of the Cobble Classics heroes. It's going to be an absolutely sensational crescendo day. Let's see how they get on. How is MVDP feeling? A course that's facing the riders today. It's back up over 200 kilometres this year, 207.2 kilometres. We've got a total of 12 Hellingen. That's 9 separate hills. One of them we've got to do twice, another one we've got to do 3 times. We also have 8 separate Kasseien or different cobbled sectors along the way, so plenty of cobbles to keep us interested and excited, and certainly keep the riders interested inside it. One long local loop, then that comes down to a shorter loop, and then we race off towards the finale in Nenove, traditional destination point for Omloop Nieuwsbland.
We're 104 kilometres from the conclusion of this opening classic of the season, and it is wonderful to be back with you. 5 riders up the road then: Jelte Krensen, Alexis Renard, Clément Aleno, Vincent van Hemelen and Alexis Brunel. And as I just teased, with me in the commentary box, alongside me for the first time, watching his home from home, his former home, it's Robbie McEwen. How are you?
Goeiedag, Rob. Yeah, really good. I mean, I agree with you. It's hard to not go with a traditional name of a race. I'd only just got my head around using the word Nieuwsblad as the name for this race, because for so many years and all my time in Belgium, it was the Omloop het Volk, what the newspaper used to be called, for a change to Nieuwsblad. I loved and still love this time of year in Belgium, the anticipation towards this race. All I mentioned in the breakaway, it's like Christmas time for cycling fans. It really, really lives in Belgium. Everybody looks forward to it, and the riders are pumped for it too. The first day back on the cobbles, we love it.
Oh no, crash.
De eerste bond. Oh. I wasn't sure if that was Magnus Sheffield.
It was in the Oscar, definitely. I'm trying to look on the feed. The feed's about a second ahead.
Groves
is there, yeah. Even the Hollander.
It's fantastic. I am just excited. It's just these. Okay, we've been racing a few weeks, but there's nothing quite like opening weekend. It's just exciting.
There is.
I'm
Christmas.
At Christmas. I'm sat here as a commentator doing my job, but I'm also sat here as a fan, and I'm an unashamed fan of racing in Belgium. It's racing at its absolute purest, and we are on to the climb of the Eichenberg, and things are really starting to sizzle and simmer on the back burner now with this 5-man group. Still out in front, good lead, just under 2 minutes now, but we'll let you get a little bit of a break, Rob. Fuel yourself up, get some gels down you.
I'm staying with you. I'm not going anywhere.
No,
you're not sending me off for a break on Omloop Nieuwsblad, eh?
Well,
no chance.
Do you know what? Let's just.
That was like a scene from Wolf of Wall Street then. I ain't leaving. I'm not leaving.
I was just about to ask Adam what his thoughts of the Eichenberg were, but look at this. We'll come to you in a minute, Adam, because look at all the fighting left to right here. Right inside, you've got Søren Kragh in that Danish champions jersey. Left as we look at it, there's Kwiatkowski. He's looking after Turner, who's been in fantastic form. There's a few looks around to try and look to see if they can find teammates. Adam, what, as a man who's protecting a leader, you've done this job before in the classics, what are you doing here going to this Eichenberg?
Crash in the middle of the centre.
Big crash through the centre. 20 riders down.
Fred Wright's in there.
No, Movistar involved. Bahrain. You can see another rider there, Paul. It's caught up just behind that. There's another rider on the left-hand side who's down there clutching a leg. And this is a bit of a disaster. Ineos Grenadiers also represented.
One of the things with this, Rob, is that we can't appreciate whenever watching is how hard they're riding. You know, the riders getting on the back. There's such as Fred Wright would say, Pidcock going on the back.
Here.
Yeah, he's not on a good day there. I don't know if he was stuck behind that crash a little bit, but I was just about to say, this is a classic example of it. The efforts Tom's had to make to get back in, they might look easy on telly, but they are big efforts, you know, and it's like now, he's probably doing 400, 450 watts plus. Doesn't look like that because we can't appreciate how fast these riders are going. So each time you hit the brakes or just come out the back of the peloton, it's a huge effort to get back on.
Caden Groves right up towards the front with Mathieu van der Poel. Head of the race moves on to the next cobbled sector, and after the Eckenberg we go to Holloweg. 700 metres of it.
I think this is where famously Matthew Heyman broke his collarbone before he went on to win Roubaix a few years later. So yeah, a section which, as you can see, there's no real smooth part. We see
Paul Magnier with an issue here. Looks like he was caught up with something. It's a mechanical for Magnier. Chains off.
Oh no!
And he's going to have to go on one of these bikes.
Well, this is the thing, Rob. You know, you had that big crash. There's riders all over the place. At the moment, there's not enough of a time gap between the back of the peloton to get the team cars in. So Magnier is having to wait
Plus
now.
the crash.
Yeah, exactly. So this is 30 seconds he's been at the side of the road. Looks like he's actually laid it down at some point as well, Magnier, although that could be just the dirt from the road. But not a good situation for the rider that was second last year, still waiting.
If you turn onto this as one of the first, you have no option. You must go.
Just slid out
it's
on the
that
crowd.
slippery. Yep, and I think that's what happened to Cook in the last cobbles. So, you see the dexterity of the riders behind, the skills to get around and keep going. Mathieu van der Poel pushing on hard. But this is a moment, if you start this climb at the front, you must go. You can do so much damage.
It's Vermeers here, and just that little gap now to Van der Poel. Laporte is not too far away. Vatsek, who was being put into the position, is about 6 wheels back. Red Bull bore a handscrew there. Key point now, just 22 seconds from the front, Adam.
Yeah, it's Brennan behind there, just in that Visma jersey, just trying to get in contact with Van der Poel. Van der Poel put his foot down, managed to get it clipped in and get back going again.
That's astonishing.
I'm wondering where Tim Wellens is, because this looked like a move that should have been for Wellens, but with the UAE rider, Vermeers off the front, Van der Poel behind him, Vermeers now should not work with him. I think that is, Axel Zingler with Brennan just behind him, the Visma rider. So they've got 2 there, but
3 for Red Bull.
No Wellens. No Wellens. He's been caught up. There's an issue here.
There's Wellens. Just going through shot now, just at the back of the bunch. So
it's about 6 or 7 groups all in one picture shot as they swung left. This is the front of the race. I mean, fair play to the lads in front as well. Those 4 riders have, they've 42 k's to go. They're about to be caught, and given the carnage behind, all they need to do, and I say easily, is just slot in the wheels, jump on the train, and just sit in and strap yourself in. Is what I would do if I was one of these riders now.
I mean, Matt, you can finish in the top group in the Omloop Nieuwsbland. All you've got to do first is ride 160k full gas, and then hold on to the wheel of Mathieu van der Poel. You go for it, mate.
They won't be pulling, put it that way. If I was a DS, it's like, right, lock yourself in, bang some gels down and sit in that wheel as long as you can.
Maybe it wasn't the traditional break. They were just anticipating getting into the winning move of the day. And if you're going to anticipate, you've got to go from kilometre 0.
Totally.
But this is pure classics racing in Belgium early season. The chaos and confusion with everything going on.
It's Kermesse time. It's all the fun of the fair. Carnival week. It's our yearly cycling carnival start. Here Arsberge, the Muur, the cycling shrine, and the actors are here to take the stage. Onto the Vesten they go. As I said, full of the fair, the Kermesse, Carnival week.
And if you're ever riding through here, drop in there on the right of screen to Bar Guidon, run by Frederick Pennant, former colleague, professional rider, and it's the a major fan club of one, Remco Evenepoel as well.
He's sitting watching from the sofa today.
He'll be very glad he is as well.
Given the amount of crashes and incidents, I mean, we know we have Kuurne-Brussel-Kuurne tomorrow. There's going to be a lot, I think, of ploughing through lists and press releases and things to see who is fit to start tomorrow. There is the chapel at the top of the Kapelmuur side of the Muur. And now we're seeing the selection of the fittest. Those three who were in the morning breakaway have been distanced, and the three attackers are now able to go at each other. They turn off the Vesten, they're about to turn onto the Muur itself, and it's Mathieu van der Poel in the light blue, Florian Vermeers in the white and black, and a gap now to Tim van Dijk, who's in that white and blue. Mathieu van der Poel with a little bit of a march stolen. This now, as he turns left, Robbie, is where you start to feel the cobbles move onto the wheels. This is where it gets harder. It's a wet road, and Mathieu van der Poel, without getting out of the saddle at all, is making the gap, is riding away. At Alpecin Premier Tech, live for the classics. This is what matters to them, and they invariably perform when it matters. It's Mathieu on the Muur, riding away.
Well, the question by many was, is Mathieu van der Poel ready to win on day one of his season? He would not have pinned on a number if he didn't believe he was ready to win on day one of his season. He's ridden them out of the wheel. They are on the really steep, slippery part of the Muur now, and Mathieu van der Poel has flown the coop. Van Dijk wrestling to keep it upright, the front wheel coming off the ground. Vermeer sticking with him, and Van der Poel putting on a demonstration.
One of the world's greatest gets his Muur moment. It's Mathieu van der Poel in front of the great chapel, and he has ridden away and made it look easy. Wow.
Mathieu van der Poel would have grown up watching race coverage, the Tour of Flanders, riding over this exact hill. I'm sure he'd be having a little moment in his head thinking, that must be so nice, Tour of Flanders. But he's going to do it here in the Omloop Nieuwsbland.
Just on that little section on the Muur, he's put 18 seconds into Van Dijk and Vermeers. Alpecin de Koning, we said it, they live for the classics. This is in their DNA. This is what matters, and they turn up when it matters. Mathieu van der Poel, the first rider in 25 years, a quarter of a century, to turn up and win on debut on the Omloop Nieuwsblad. Van der Poel went away with a group on the Molenberg. 45 k's out from the finish. He went alone, and for once the Muur belonged to Mathieu. It's Mathieu van der Poel who ticks another one off the list. The Omloop Nieuwsblad is now on his palmarès. Now can he break the curse and win the Tour of Flanders in the same year? Behind the sprint for second place. That's lost already. Vermeers knew that that was the case if he couldn't get Van Dijk into the front. That's beautifully managed by Tim van Dijk, who finishes second for Red Bull. Third place there going for Florian Vermeers. But Robbie McEwen, the winner, is Mathieu van der Poel.
Marvellous Mathieu. Nothing more needs to be said.
What a victory. Behind they will fight for those remaining positions. Christophe Laporte is going to come in fourth place. Behind they'll come with him. But all the headlines taken by more magic from Mathieu van der Poel.
I want to say sorry to the rider of Tudor because I almost rode over his head, I think, but I had nowhere to go. So I was unclipped, but luckily I could find my pedal quite fast again. And then on top I joined Florian, who was really strong today as well. And in the end, that was the decisive moment of the race, I think.